at an early state despite the harsh trials of history in the form of repeated foreign invasion. Its own characteristics remains. So yun nga, so and folk literature and uh, written literature. Yan. So first, yan, we have the folk literature sa Vietnam. Yan. So dito naman, yan, so kumbaga kahalintulad, no, at malalim na pakikipag-ugnayan sa iba pang mga aspeto ng kultura. So ang folk literature ng Vietnam, yan, so nabuo siya ng napaka maaga, no, kabilang yung dalawang pangunahing bahagi. Yan, so folk literature, tsaka yung written literature. And then, so yan, legend, fairy tales, humor stories, folk songs, epics, and so on have tremendous vitality and have lived on to days. Yan. So yun nga, yung folk literature held a great significance in Vietnam. It made immense contribution, no, to preserving and developing the national language, no, as well as nourishing the people's soul. So yung mga folk literary no works were diversified no by mythologies, epics, legends, humorous stories, riddles, yan, so folk songs and so on. So with many colorings of Vietnamese ethnic groups. And then dito naman sa written literature, now first appeared yan sa 10th centuries. Yan, so mga written literature ay yan nga first appeared noong 10th century so hanggang 20th century. Yan, so kumbaga dito kasi may dalawang bahagi na umiiral sa parehong panahon. No, yung work nasa ba yan? Ayan. Itong works written in the hand characters, no, na may mga tula, no, mga tula at prosa na nagpapakita ng kaluluwa, no, at realidad ng mga Vietnamese. Kaya itinuturing pa rin ang mga ito bilang panitikang Vietnamese, no, Vietnam literature. And then, ano ba yung isa? Ayan, ito pala, and Kunom. Yan. No, works written in nom character, no, or kunom. So karamihan ay mga tula, so maraming dakilang akda ang kumbaga yan ang pinamana sa mga sumunod na henerasyon. Ayan, so mula noong 20th century, no, mula noong 20th century, ang mga written literature ay kumbaga pangunahing binubuo sa wikang pambansa na may malalalim na renovasyon no, sa anyo at kategorya tulad ng nobela, mga tula na bagong estilo, maikling kwento at tula. So may iba't ibang hilig no, sa sining. So ang mga written literature no ay kumbaga nakamit ang mabilis na pag-unlad no pagkatapos ng Revolution nang ito ay kumbaga pinamahalaan ng gabay ng Partido Komunista ng Vietnam no, at nakatuon sa pakikibaka at buhay manggagawa ng mamamayan. Yeah, so ito yung mga example of poetry. Yan. So may nilagay ko lang dyan. Skip na natin. And then, in the 20s and the following decades, yan, the country's literature was written in Vietnamese Coc Ngu or Romanized National Language. Yan, so dito naman ang makabagong panitikang Vietnamese ay natagpuan ang mga ugat nito sa French colonial period ng ang popularization of the Romanized script na Kokmu ay sa wakas ay pinahintulutan. No, kumbaga pinahintulutan itong makalaya mula sa mga paghihigpit ng classical Chinese literature. Yan. Yan, so originally devised by French Jewish missionary Alexander de Rhodes no, as means of propagating Roman Catholicism, Kokmu no, became a cornerstone of the French colonial educational system in the late 19th century no, and was initially rejected by Confucian scholars such as Nguyen Di Chu no, who referred to Kok Mu as as the script of heretics. No, however, following the renovation movement of 1907, Vietnamese intellectuals began to realize the potential value of Kok Mu as a medium for disseminating patriotic and anti-colonial ideas. No, so as literacy gradually spread no, throughout the country, so the development of modern printing methods facilitated the production of books, newspapers, magazines, and in Kokmu and both journalism and literature written in the Romanized script began to flourish. Ayan. And traditionally, Vietnamese literature always featured patriotism, national pride, and humanism. It was not by chance that great cultural personalities such as Nguyen Trai, Nguyen Du, and Ho Si Men Min were also humanists. And both oral and written created largely by Vietnamese-speaking people. And although Francophone Vietnamese, ayan, so Francophone, ito yung ano, it is some, kumbaga parang community ata to, some kind of community. No, someone who, or someone who speaks French. Ayan. And English-speaking Vietnamese authors in Australia and United States are counted by many critics as part of the national tradition. Ayan. And then ito naman yung mga poem. Ayan, so types of poetry, yan, mga sound devices. Yung mga sound devices, figurative devices ay ayan. So yun may alam nyo na, no? And then dito tayo, pag sinabi natin, as a type of poetry, pag sinabi natin lyric poetry, so ito yung, ito ay short poem lang, no, often with song-like qualities, no, that expresses the speaker's personal emotions and feelings. Yan. Kapag naman sinabi nating narrative poem, syempre, ito yung poem na, kumbaga, uh, which tells story. Yan. So, it uses the poetic techniques you might normally find in a poem, no, such as rhyme, rhythm, similes, and metaphors, no, to create a narrative. No, so, ito naman ay, yan, typically longer than other forms of poetry, and they tell an overarching story just like novel. No, may mga plot, characters, and setting like a novel too. So pag sinabi naman natin descriptive poetry, no, unlike sa narrative poetry, ito naman ay known not necessarily for telling story, but for its deep depiction of a person, animal, or inanimate object. No, so the feelings the poet has about this object are secondary to the description of the subject, so they don't get in the way of the visual imagery. So ayan, so ito naman yung mga essential phrases you'll need in Vietnam. So ito yung mga basic na, yan, language nila. So mahirap banggitin, ayan. So isinama ko na lang din dyan. Yan. So if you're curious, yan, pwede nyong balikan yan. And then Vietnamese customs and traditions. So napakarami na lang customs and traditions. So naglagay lang ako ng tatlo. No, so ito yung kasi yung parang pinakamahalagang customs and traditions. Yan. So ancestor worship. Yan. So ang mga Vietnamese kasi may kaugalian na sumamba, no, sa mga ninuno, no, para upang gunatain yung kanilang pinagmulan. No, so ang kaugalian ay nabuo batay sa paniniwala ng immortalidad ng kaluluwa pagkatapos ng kamatayan. No, so worshiping ancestors becomes one of traditional Vietnamese customs, ethical norms, and principles. Yan, sa naniniwala ang mga Vietnamese na ang kaluluwa ng isang patay na tao na kahit daw napatay na sa loob ng maraming henerasyon ay nagpapahinga pa rin kasama ang kanilang mga kumbaga inapo sa lupa. Yan, ganun. Na ang mga patay at buhay na tao ay may kumbaga espiritual na pakikipag-ugnayan. No, tulad na sa pang-araw-araw na buhay, so hindi dapat kalimutan ng mga tao na kung ano ang kanilang tinatamasa at kung ano ang nararamdaman nila ay pareho para sa kanilang mga namatay na kamag-anak. Yan. So, dito naman sa burning votive paper. So, yan. So, kapag kasi bumibisita sa Vietnam, so marami yung mga travelers doon na nagtataka. So, bakit doon nagsusunog ng colored papers ang mga Vietnamese? No, so, ang mga papel na ito kasi ay kilala bilang votive papers. No, which can be houses, clothes, fake money, cars, motorbikes, no? Nagawa sa papel. So, mga ito ay kumakatawan sa mga regalo para sa mga ninuno. Yan. Ayan, so dito kasi matapos daw sunugin yung papel na yung votive paper. So isang maliit na alak ang iwiwisik daw sa abo upang ang mga espiritu ay makaakyat na no sa langit. No at dalhin yung mga nakapaloob, yung mga kaloob para magamit ng mga ninuno daw. Yan. So ang ritual na ito ay yan. So yan, regular na nagaganap no sa mga particular na araw tulad ng mga pista bago ang buong kumbaga buong buwan ng araw, so taunang anibersaryo ng kamatayan ng mga ninuno o mga Lunar New Year. Yan. So Vietnamese people believe in general that the dead have a life in the source of good. No, so that the objects in form of paper that the livings offer to the dead are burned. No, over time, at the present time, burning the votive paper in Vietnam, kumaga gradually becoming a tradition. Yan. So, dito naman sa wedding, parang parehas lang din. No, dito sa atin. So, ang kasal ay yan, isa sa tatlong pinakamahalagang pangyayari sa buhay ng isang tao sa Vietnam. No, so ang kaugalian sa kasal sa Vietnam ay medyo komplikado. Pero may pagkakaparehas pa din naman. So bago ang isang opisyal na kasal ng isang mag-asawa, sa isang seremonya ng kasal ay dapat nagaganapin muna. No, alinsunod sa tradisyon ng Vietnam. So ang engagement ceremony ay isang opisyal na okasyon para sa mga pamilya no ng nobyo at nobya upang markahan no ang kanilang relasyon and arrange the wedding. Ayan. So, yun. Kailangan maghanda no, ang bawat pamilya ng isang kinatawan na miyembro ng pamilya na may masayang, kumbaga mataas na yung posisyon sa pamilya. Yan. At yun nga, sa araw ng engagement, yung mga kinatawan ng dalawang pamilya ay magkakaroon ng ilang anunsyo tungkol sa kasal at palitan ng mga regalo. Yan. So, ito naman, marami pa tong yan, tungkol dito sa wedding. So, hindi ko na lang masyadong inalam na. So, para tayo ay na. Yan. So, dito naman tayo dako na tayo sa literary works. Gising pa ba? Baka mga nakatulog na. Ayan. So, una na dito, The Cherished Daughter. Ayan. So, written so sinulat ito noong 1700s. So, ito ay folk poem. So, yung author nito is unknown. Ayan. And then, ito ay based on work chants, love chants, ballads, riddles, and sayings. Yan. So, ito ay tungkol sa love, marriage, religion, work, and nature. Ayan. Okay, pakibasa naman. Ano bang section mo nga? O2. Bakani. Is Bakani. Nandito ba? Nasaan na? Wala. Bonifacio. Miss Bonifacio. Ayan. Pakibasa ng poem.
The Cherished Daughter. Mother, I am 18 this year and still without a husband. What, mother, is your plan? The magpie brought 2 matchmakers and you threw them the challenge. Not less than 5 full 5,000 areca nuts, 5 fat pigs, and 5 suits of clothes. Mother, I am at 23 this year and still without a husband. What, mother, dear, is your plan? The magpie brought two matchmakers and you threw them the challenge. Not less than three full quan, 3,000 areca nuts, three fat pigs, and three suits of clothes. Mother, I am 32 this year and still without a husband. What, mother, darling, is your plan? The magpie brought two matchmakers and you threw them the challenge. Not less than one full quan, 1,000 areca nuts, one fat dog this time, and one suit of clothes. Mother, I am 43 this year, still without a husband. Mother, look, mother, will you please just give me away?
Okay, thank you. So, ayan. So, ito kasi, ayan, disregard nyo na lang. Kasi ito naman ay dapat ay pa-activity ko. Kaso ay wala naman tayong ano. So, siguro ay papa-activity ko to sa next na lang. And then, ayan. So, question. Ayan. Tatawag muna ako. Jinky. Dito ba si Miss Jinky Borromeo? Nandito. First question is, ayan, do you believe that the daughter is cherished? Do you believe that the daughter is cherished? Yan. So, defend your answer. Irish. Audrey.
Ano po, miss, sa tingin ko po, hindi po.
Why?
Kasi po parang hindi po siya hinayaan nung nanay niya na magkaroon po ng sarili pong buhay.
Okay. So, yan. So, meron talagang, so may time naman at, kumbaga masasabi talaga natin na hindi naman siya na-cherished. Ano. So, yung iba, ano naman yung opinion? Sa tingin ninyo, na-cherished ba siya or hindi? So, sino dito yung yes? Okay, so meron. Ayan. So, parang parehas lang eh, 'di ba? Kasi 'di ba, kasi yung sobra kasi yung taas ng standards no nung mother base dito sa ano sa tag dito sa poem, no? The mother is putting restriction on her daughter's marriage. No, so parang siya lahat yung magde-decide, no? Na kumbaga napaka-improper naman nun 'no. So so lumalabas dito na the daughter is not valued. So however, no, after reading it all, ano, kumbaga siyempre as a mother, no, so naiintindihan naman 'no, as a mother 'no, so marami naman tayong so meron talaga mga magulang na 'yan, so only wanted her daughter to enjoy a life free from poverty. No, so meron talagang anak ay dito, ah kasi nga 'di ba ang Vietnam kasi is used to be one of the world's poorest nation. So the mother only wants na to kumbaga uh, only adhering to the practice of arranged marriage no that existed in Vietnam. So talagang uso doon yung mga arranged marriage no. As time passes no makikita naman natin na uh, na yung mga challenges na mother issues the bar no. No, so okay naman na ganun but napaka ano lang sobra yung restrict na ano no, it's too much. Umabot na siya ng 43 years old, wala pa rin siyang asawa, no? Sa kagustuhan ng ina na ah, na magkaroon ng magandang buhay ang anak, ayan. tumanda na yung anak niya. No, so too much, no? O kumbaga parehas lang. Na-cherish naman siya, but it is too much. So hindi rin parang pinapakita din dito na hindi siya na-cherished kasi sobra yung paghigpit. No, napaka-improper na kahit sa pagpapakasal ay hindi na nakapag-decide yung anak. Ayan. Ayan. So what culture of the Vietnamese is shown in the poem? What culture of the Vietnamese is shown in the poem? Ben Hernandez. Ayan.
Base po ma'am sa poem ay conservatism po, which is nakaakla pa po sa mga old values po yung culture po nila, especially po sa marriage.
Ayan, tama. Ano pa? Meron pa ba na ipakita dito? Ano pa yung yan? Kurt.
Ma'am, same lang po sa sinabi ni JL. Parang yung family po ay yung family po sa Vietnam ay yung may biggest selection po sa mapapangasawa. Yung parang kunyari ako po may anak, parang malaki po yung part ko as a parent na tulungan yung aking anak na ganun sa mapapangasawa niya. Sa arranged marriage, parang ganun po.
Doon is so mas yung kumbaga yung parents no have a major voice. Yan, in selection of wives and husbands no of their children. Yes.
Ma'am, medyo lag po kayo. Minsan po yung nawawala yung boses.
Oh. Oh, okay. Ayan, wait lang. Nahina siguro. Okay na ba? Malinaw na.
Ma'am, minsan okay, tas minsan na hindi po.
Naku, pagpasensyahan nyo na at talagang mahina ang Okay na? Ayan. So, pakisabihin na lang ulit ako. Ayan, wala na naman yata. Ayan, so continue tayo. So, yun nga. Yung parents na have a major voice no in the selection of wives and husbands of their children. Ayan. So, napakita din dito yung mga ano ba mga culture, yung mga arranged marriage, yan. Mga social status, yan. So, nandiyan yan. So, naniniwala din sila sa mga Buddhist monk, ayan. And, yun na, in accordance with the Vietnamese culture depicted in the poem, the family plays a significant role in choosing the spouse and partners of their children, no, arranging their marriage through matrimonial agents, no, or called maidongs. So the family's social economic standing, yan, Buddhist doctrine and Confucian philosophy all have big impact no on this choice. No, so it is kumbaga surprising how similar people and ways of life are all throughout the world, no, despite certain cultural differences. For instance, no, the dowry system is a cultural practice that is also prevalent in the Philippines. Ayan. And then, so dito naman, ayan, so how do you feel no for the daughter at 43? How do you feel for the daughter at 43? Anyone? Yung iba, andyan, sino pa ba? O, magtatawag ako. Wala bang gusto sumagot? Ayan si Mr. Mark Justin.
Kinig mo ba ako?
Yes, ayan.
Unang-una, of course, sad po ako for the daughter at 43 kasi at that age, wala pa rin po siyang partner. And still, ang may say pa rin po ay yung mother niya na at that point, I think is sobrang selfish na. And kasi and walang respect sa sariling desisyon ng kanyang daughter. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Ayan. So, tama naman. So, talagang nakakalungkot na para dun sa daughter. No, kasi umabot na siya ng 43, wala pa siyang asawa. No, hindi man lang niya na-enjoy yung kanyang buhay. No? Kumbaga, lumaki na siya, tumanda na siya, na, lumaki siya sa, kumbaga, na, yan, sa, kanya ng ina, lumaki na siya sa mga restrictions na sinusunod niya yung kanyang yung kanyang ina. No? So, hindi na siya nakapag-decide on her own, no? So kahit gustuhin man niya na na ah makapangasawa ng kumbaga kahit napakasinungaling no, sa magulang no, sa Vietnam.
Ma'am, nawawala po
Ah.
ulit kayo.
Kumbaga naging selfish. Okay, nawawala. Okay, so pagpasensya na talaga nahina yung internet. Yan. Ang hirap talaga kapag online. Ah. Putol-putol pa rin. Ano kasing
Medyo po.
problema nitong okay. Ayan, so pagpasensyahan nyo na ha. Ayan, so nasa na ba tayo? Continue tayo. Ayan, ano pa ba? So, ayun nga. So, nakakalungkot. Ayan. So, sana naman. Kasi meron din kasi, until now, meron ganun ha. Na may mga magulang talaga na talagang gusto nila sila yung nasusunod when it comes to marriage. Na talagang kahit gaano mo kamahal ng isang tao, kung hindi naman gusto ng magulang mo, wala kang magagawa. So, meron talagang mga ganung magulang. No? So, nakakaawa lang na umabot na siya ng 43, wala na siyang asawa. Hindi na siya makapag-asawa na kung saan talagang hiniling na niya na to give her away. Giving her away. Yan. And then, so, it is clear naman that the daughter silently accept na the family's traditions and culture. No? So, na-value naman yung yan. So, na-value yung obedience and respect. No, ang kaso naman, sobra naman ni ata yung obedience and respect sa so, hindi na siya nakapag-decide ng kanya. Kasi doon kasi sa Vietnam, so conserving culture is another important aspect of economic and social values. Ayan. And then, yung mga, ayan, so yung sound device naman na nagamit dito sa poem is, ayan, repetition. No, repetition yung nagamit dito. By employing, ayan, nakikita nyo naman, no? It is employing similar phrases with only a few words, no, change to indicate the poem's flow. So, yun nga, the repeated lines in the stanza help show the poem's growth or change. And then, ayan, so poetry type tayo. Anong type of poetry itong The Cherished Daughter? What type of poetry?
Narrative po.
Again, hindi ko masyado narinig.
Baka po narrative poetry po.
Narrative? Well, no, hindi siya narrative. Ano pa?
Lyric poetry po.
Yes, ayan. Lyric poetry. No? So, di ba kasi nga, a lyric poetry is a formal kind of poetry that often uses the first person to describe personal emotions or feelings. No? And then, Based dito, di ba? Saan ba yun? Saan na yun? Ayan. So, di ba sinabi ko na ano ang meaning nito? Yung lyric poetry, kumbaga parang ito siyang song-like. Na it expresses the speaker's personal emotions and feelings. Yan. So, ito ay lyric poetry. Yan. So, the daughter, napakita kasi din the daughter's desire to get married is very apparent as we read the poem. Yan. She isn't getting any younger. The personal pronouns I and me no are more proof that the cherished daughter was written in the first place. Ayan. So, next, ano tayo? Next poem. Ito na. Itong last na to, hindi ko na to isasama ha. So, the schoolboy's apology. Ayan. Can you read the poem, Miss Mina, Tricia May? Wala ba dito si Miss Mina? Rafa and Micah. Ayan. Can you read the poem, Schoolboy's Apology by Le Tan Juan? Naririnig mo? Okay, mahina ang internet. Okay, sige. Sino pa ba dito? Kenneth.
Ma'am, rinig na po.
Yes.
A schoolboy's apology. If sometimes I fall asleep in a lecture or shout and scream as if alone, please forgive me. Please don't be angry, for I have no place to play. I'm growing up, I want to be a sailor. I'm wishing for a giant arena, a stream. I feel like yelling my life is beginning. Every minute I want to hold tight to my dreams. But the fires of war have shivered my joys. At every step I see guns turned on me. At every word I hear the crush of steel. Not believing, not understanding, I only stare. The slaughter goes on and on. Blood and bones and hatred all strained red. People running from the front to look out for themselves. Cheating, lying, stabbing others in the back. Some of my friends have fallen. No one knew, no one cared. They were dewdrops, that's all. My home will be burnt to the ground. The way back cut off partition.
Ayan. Okay, thank you. And so, ayan, medyo mahina na naman yung internet ko din. Okay, so mahina din daw ang internet ng iba. Okay. So dito naman, this poem is bound up in Vietnam's history. Specifically their war. Their war history. The 2 decades of war which killed millions of soldiers, villagers, men, women, and children. Ayan. So, kumbaga dito, yung persona. Why is the persona in the poem apologizing? No, is it a proper act? Why is the persona in the poem apologizing? Hernandez.
Sa tingin ko po ma'am ay dahil nag-volunteer po siya sa giyera at ano po, parang sinama niya po yung kanyang mga kaibigan tapos nagsisisi po siyang sumali po siya dun sa giyera.
How about the others? Sa tingin nyo, ano masasabi nyo? Bakit humingi ng sorry yung persona? Yeah. Yes.
Ma'am, siguro po kasi inaantok siya sa klase. Po kasi
Naantok.
I fall asleep in a lecture. Ganun.
Ayan. So, kasi dito, kasi 'di ba, yung persona natin, the character in the poem experience a horrible, kumbaga, past, horrible event. And now, yes, Miss Raisa ba? Tama? Margaret, ayan.
Hello po, naririnig po.
Yes.
Ayun, para po sa akin, feel ko po kaya po siya nagsasorry kasi po since doon sa first stanza, parang yung nagsha-shout daw po siya, gano'n. Para siyang naging dramatic response niya. Tapos
Yes.
nagsasorry po siya dahil feeling niya siguro po nakakaabala siya sa ibang tao dahil nung parang nagkaroon po siya ng PTSD since nagkaroon nga po ng war. Parang gano'n po.
Okay, ayan. So, tama. No, so, kumbaga nagkaroon siya ng traumatic. No, kumbaga, it is hunting him. No, so humingi siya ng sorry kasi minsan nga, kumbaga, hindi niya nakokontrol. No? And, concern siya na, kumbaga, ma-interrupt niya yung klase. No, yung lalo na yung klase. No? And or cause him to be a trouble. So, kumbaga humihingi siya ng sorry. No, kasi kumbaga meron siyang trauma. No, so sometimes hindi niya nakokontrol. Yan, nakakita niyo naman dito. Yan, sa first stanza, if sometimes I fall asleep in a lecture or shout and scream as if yan. So, talagang nangyayari yun. So, nagkaroon siya ng PTSD. Yan. Yan. So the boy's apology demonstrates how thoughtful he is toward those around him. So he makes every effort not to avoid upsetting his classmates. So syempre, yung iba kasi baka may misinterprets kung bakit siya nagkakaganon. So hindi naman alam ng iba na meron siyang trauma. So kaya humihingi siya ng sorry. And then, so what does the second stanza? Yung second stanza naman, tell about the persona. What does the second stanza tell about the persona? Yes, Joaquin.
Ma'am, yung boy po ay parang gusto niya lang po ng no worries po, parang enjoy lang po yung youth. Tapos yung mabuhay po sa kanyang sa mga pangarap niya. Parang gano'n lang po yung
Yes.
din po sa second.
Oo. Oo. Yes, tama. Kasi parang gusto niyang maging katulad din ng mga normal na bata, no, na walang ganong problema, walang ganong trauma. So gusto niya na magkaroon siya ng kumbaga ini-imagine niya yung buhay na walang takot. So he was clinging to his fantasies, no? Kasi gusto niya maging carefree. Ayan. No, a young man was attempting to turn a dream into reality since he was curious about what his future held. And then, so dito naman pangatlong stanza. Now, what does this stanza 3 tell about the persona? Yes, Makalintal.
So parang follow up po siya sa stanza 2. So feel ko po yung stanza 2 is yung parang mga dreams niya. Tapos po pagdating ng stanza 3, parang pinapakita niya po sa atin yung reality ng kanyang buhay, kung ano po talaga nangyayari, nag-revolve sa kanyang buhay po. Yun po. Reality po.
Okay, ayan. Ayan, okay. So yun nga, it tells the third stanza is about the character in the story described, no? yung kumbaga yung mga nasa isip niya, yung mga chaos happening inside his mind no, during the class. Yan. His thoughts no reflected that of being lost and hopeless in the middle of the war were extreme violence na in depth surrounding him. Ayan. And then, ano pa ba? Next question. Ayan. So what with the persona situation in class? No, so many Filipino classmates might laugh at this boy or bully him. So how would you react no in the situation? Mr. Hernandez again. Ano naman? How about the others?
Try ko pong intindihin po anong naranasan po niya at maki-sympathize na lang po sa kung anong nangyari po sa kanya dahil hindi naman po niya gustong maranasan yung gera pong yun sa kanyang sa lugar po nila.
Okay, ayan. So, and of course, hindi naman appropriate no nung to make fun of someone na nagsasuffer ng anxiety or phobia. So, syempre, kumbaga mas mabuting i-discuss muna sa yan. So, dito naman, so the students might perhaps comprehend the boy's behavior in some way. No? And, ayan. So, dito naman, ayan, ito, yung pangalawang sa valuing. So, if you were a foreign teacher, no, kunwari, foreign teacher kayo sa Vietnam, knowing there was war in the country. So, what preparation would you do before facing your students? If you were a foreign teacher in Vietnam, knowing there was war in the country, so what preparation would you do before facing your students? Yan, yes. Sino ba to? Edward, ayan.
Personally po, i-review ko po yung history na kahit po brief history lang po no kailang nung war. Then parang po papasok po ako sa klase ng mga students with an open mind, knowing na nangyari nga po yung war na yun. So I'll keep my mind open para sa mga students na yun pa.
Great. Yeah. Okay, okay. Wait, sa akin yung dating. So, ano pa? May gusto pang sumagot? Wala.
Ma'am, pwede po bang paulit po ng question? Thank you po.
In the country. What preparation would you do before facing your students? Yes, Miss Margaret.
Yun po, parang additional po sa sinasabi ni Edward, pero ako naman po ay mag-undergo ng mga yung sa therapy session po or any medical professional na related po sa makaka-help para mas maging sensitive enough and maging empathetic po ako sa situation ng mga students na tuturuan po. Ayun po.
Okay, ayun. So, tama naman ang sinabi nyo, no, sa mag-conduct ng research, no, on the Vietnam War. So, para alam nyo, no, and it is impact no, sa mga tao before speaking sa mga, bago makapag-usap sa mga students, no, para naman magkaroon kayo ng mas better understanding, no, with their problems. No, and then, so, syempre, dapat magkaroon kayo ng time no, in learning how to engage with children who have experienced trauma so in a proper and ethical manner. And then after, so kung matapos yung makapag-gather ng information nga, yun na, so dapat nga, saka pa lang kayong design ng learning and teaching strategies no, that will best meet your students' needs no, while maintaining their physical and emotional well-being. Ayan. So, dito naman, dito na tayo sa type of poetry. So, what poetry type is a schoolboy's apology? Ano naman? Type ng poetry ito. Yes. Ano ba to? Teka lang, pagbigyan natin yung iba. So, marami ako nakikita nagre-raise ng hand. Si Kenneth. Ayan, Kenneth.
Ma'am, I think it's narrative po since nagkukwento po siya ng ano po niya, traumas.
Okay, ayan. It is a narrative poetry. Since nga, nagkukwento siya ng kanyang, di ba nga according sa definition, recounts a tale na kumaga nagkukwento. It includes a complete plot and all the typical characteristics of a story. And then a schoolboy's apology also includes a story about how the war hunts the main character and influences his behavior at school. Ayan. So, ayan. So, dito na natatapos ang ating lecture for Vietnam literature. So, siguro next week na lang ako magpapa-activity about dito. Yan. About naman dito sa attendance. So, meron naman ako ditong attendance tracker. Ayan, so alam ko nalalaman ko kung ilang minutes or hours kayo nagstay dito sa klase. Ayan. So, hindi ko na kayo, siguro next time na lang ulit ako mag-add. So, dito and then, baka next week ko na din, yung sa semester project nyo, hindi ko pa masabi since hindi pa naman ako nakakapagpa-approve. Yan, so balitaan ko na lang kayo. So, kung wala nang tanong, ayan, pwede na kayong mag-leave. Ayan, thank you sa inyo.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po.